All-Star game that the people's choice have gathered. Results of fan balloting have made Mario Lemieux the headliner for the Wales Conference. The #1 vote-getter was the hero of last year's gala in St. Louis with a 6-point night. This year, his teammates will include Sean Burke, making his first stop at an All-Star game. Paul Coffey, a fan favorite in either conference, and another two-time Norris winner, Ray Bork. The Campbell Conference counters with the one and only Wayne Gretzky. The best line on 99 is his line as he reunites with Jari Kurri, and they team with the leader of the Campbell balloting, Luc Robitaille. It's easy to see why the fans have taken a shining to Edmonton in anticipation of a starry night at the Northlands Coliseum.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Hangs on, scores! 40 to go on the Prairie. Dolling moving to the net, stop, rebound, saved by Burke. Gilmore is trailing, Mullen it back, and he scores! The Mamesso in front. Smith a shot, big save, rebound, he scores! He's in with a shot, it's Gilmore. Lemieux looking, goes right in, scores!
Brought to you by Molson Canadian, what beer's all about. By Ford of Canada, where quality is more than a commitment, quality is job one. And by Esso retailers and agents across Canada.
Good evening and welcome to the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton and to the 40th annual NHL All-Star Game. I'm Ron McLean in the studio because the arena proper is in darkness right now in preparation for the announcement of the starting lineups. There's a lot of fuss going on here in Edmonton in anticipation of this game, and you can understand why. The 40 best, it's a celebration of excellence and really has been a terrific couple of days. For the NHL players themselves, those who have become fan favorites, look at this as a chance to become friends. They've had the opportunity to fraternize, to socialize, but there's a little bit of an angle to the game this time around. Wayne Gretzky, as an LA King, returns again to the Northlands Coliseum and goes with Glenn Sather on the bench. And there's also the thought that the Campbell Conference is sick of losing this game. They've really had a rough run, and they say, believe it or not, they are serious in their preparation. I wish you could have been here for some of the festivities earlier in the last 48 hours. Katie Lang was terrific last night at the Jubilee Auditorium. There are plenty of names here. Yvonne Lendl, to name one. Katie Lang, Lee Greenwood. You'll have a chance to see both of those sing the national anthem. We'll also have the introduction of the 40 players who will partake in tonight's big game. Right now at ice level, while the players mill about in the dressing rooms, the world-renowned Shumka dancers, a Ukrainian troupe from Edmonton, are entertaining the fans, while the players get perhaps their nervous jitters out of the way in the dressing room with coaches Glenn Sather and Terry O'Reilly. Slats is 0-4 as a coach behind the Campbell bench, but all 4 of those games have been close. Terry O'Reilly had the chance to play in the first ever game featuring the Campbells versus Wales format. Both gentlemen are thrilled to have the opportunity to coach tonight, and both teams are anxious to get at it. We'll have more thoughts on this game when we come back. All-Star coverage returns in just a moment. Edmonton, Alberta last week. In fact, it was all over the prairies that they were gripped in this cold streak with lots of snow, lots of skidding, and temperatures that were bitterly cold. Fans in Edmonton are used to records falling on ice, but those that fell on ice last week fell outside the Northlands Coliseum. One who weathered the storm was our own Chris Cuthbert of Edmonton. Chris, how about an Edmonton perspective on this big All-Star Gala?
Well, you heard the joke about it being -99 when Wayne Gretzky was traded to Los Angeles here in Edmonton. It felt that cold last week, but things have warmed up, and certainly the anticipation of the All-Star game has warmed up, largely because Wayne Gretzky is back. But unlike October the 19th, when he came back as a member of the Los Angeles Kings, tonight he'll be playing for the home team under Glenn Sather and alongside his old friend Jari Kurri. So there's a lot of excitement here that Gretzky is back without the pressure, and I think we can expect him to play a little better than October 19th.
Chris, it's really great to see Kurri and Gretzky together, and they play with Luc Robitaille, who says he's not sure how to act. What do you think he'll do?
He'll just stay out of the way, I think, but remember, he had more votes than Gretzky and Kurri. I wonder who's going to take the penalty shot if one is awarded with those 3 guys on the ice.
How about Edmonton getting excited about an All-Star game when they've been to the Stanley Cup 5 of the last 6 years? Are the people of Edmonton excited about this?
You know, it was a slow build-up, and I wondered if they were until today. You should have seen the skate. 10,000 kids screaming as they watched everybody on the ice, everybody wanting an autograph. I went through the crowd and asked them who their favorite was, and they almost covered all 40 players. There's something for everybody here in Edmonton, I think.
Seeking an autograph is really the signature of what makes this game so great, and we're going to get to that shortly. The introduction of those who will handle the accounts of the game, plus one of our retrospectives. Throughout the night, we'll look back at some of the great All-Star games of the past. From the Northlands Coliseum, we get set for the 40th annual, and we will be right back. The NHL decided to institute an All-Star game. At the beginning of each season, the NHL All-Stars would meet the Stanley Cup champions from the previous season. The 47 contest was played in Toronto, the Leafs jumping out to an early lead. The game was marred by an injury to Bill Mosienko, the Chicago Star center who suffered a broken leg. His Chicago teammate, Doug Bentley, proved to be the hero that night as he scored the game winner in a 4-3 All-Star victory. The present format for the NHL All-Star Game dates back to 1975, the Wales versus the Campbells. 12 games have been played since the introduction of that format. And as you can clearly see, the Wales has dominated 10 victories. The Wales has won the last 4 games, but those games have been very close. 3 were decided by a goal and the other a score of 6-4 in favor of the Wales. As I say, although this is a fun evening, the Campbells are serious. They'd like to make it 3 in the win column. The gentlemen who will handle the accounts of tonight's game here at Northlands Coliseum, 3 who have seen a few All-Star games: Dick Irvin, Bob Cole, and Harry Neal. The introduction of the players at ice level is coming up shortly, but we thought you'd enjoy a sneak preview of the players in action. Here's a look at the 40 tops with a special All-Star musical score. And as you know, the music's not the only thing that's classic about this evening. The 40 best of the NHL gathering together in Edmonton for a chance to meet and also to get at it, and they'll do that shortly. The Shumka dancers have just concluded at ice level, and they'll now have the Zamboni come out, flood the ice, and then prepare for the introduction of the starting 12 as selected by you, the fans. This is the 40th annual National Hockey League All-Star Game, and we'll be back with more pregame thoughts. Live, this is Molson Hockey Net in Canada on CBC from Edmonton. Are in the 37th annual All-Star Game had a distinctly Western flavor. Mario Lemieux did not waste his first taste of the big time. This second period goal made it 4-2 Wales. Then in the third, he scored the game winner.
On the left side, Muller off the bench, catches up. Lemieux scores! Mario Lemieux!
The 19-year-old Lemieux's MVP performance was the first by any rookie in an All-Star Game and was a hint of things to come. This is the scene presently here at the Coliseum. The players milling about. These, of course, from the Wales Conference All-Star team dressed in their traditional black, and you'll also have the chance to meet the Campbell Conference All-Stars momentarily. Scotty Bowman, one of our colleagues, has been a member of several All-Star games. Is it any wonder that we would seek Scotty's perspectives on this game? For the last couple of days, he's been out and about in the city of Edmonton to share some of those great moments.
I can identify with Coach Glenn Sather, who coaches here in Edmonton and is coaching in the All-Star game tonight with Coach Terry O'Reilly. A special feeling for a coach in an All-Star game. He selects the players to fill in the roster to try to win this hockey game. He also has a special insight into players that are on the opposing teams during the regular season. Somewhere down the line in another big game, the coach can use what he got in this All-Star game, knowing the player is a little different than he was when he was with the opposition.
Here comes Gretzky again with Curry. Gretzky into the slot. He scores!
The NHL All-Star game has had different formats. Starting in 1947, the Stanley Cup winner against the All-Star team. Presently, conference against conference allows the fans in the different cities to see the best players play against the best players. I feel this system is the best. Also, we've had the fans looking and voting for the top players in the game. And for the last 4 years, including Rendezvous 87, for the most part, they've selected the best players available, even though they've had some criticism. Coming to Edmonton for this All-Star game brings back a flood of memories for me. The 1969 All-Star game in Montreal, East Division against West Division, Bobby Orr and Doug Harvey in that game. But in 1980, Gordie Howe, over 50 years of age, returns to Detroit for his final 23rd All-Star appearance, gets an assist on the final goal for the winning team. I have other All-Star memories, and I cherish every one of them.
Thank you, Scotty. The winningest coach in National Hockey League history couldn't even find a way to foul up the All-Star games. He was successful everywhere, it seemed, that he found his way behind the bench. Well, the players are anxious to get underway with the 40th annual NHL All-Star game. Let's go ringside now, and public address announcer Mark Lewis.